right, here we go. Hey, everybody. All right. Hey, everybody, welcome. My name is Chris. It's the Cool and Common Stream. Special Tuesday night edition of the book show, my friends. Yeah, it's fantasy book night tonight. Fantasy book night. Got pushed from last week, and we're going to squeeze it in tonight. Zane, how you doing? Salty Fern, Jacqueline, Shell, Pap, good to see you, my friends. There's only maybe 3 dozen books sitting there in the store, but I've got about another 100 or so sitting here next to me. We're going to go through them with nice low starts. If there's anything in that store you want to see or any of those buy it now items, just let me know. But we're going to run through a little bit of one at a time here. We'll stack them in the back. You'll have to excuse me. I've got my jewelry show hanging out there in the back, but this is indeed a fantasy show. If you couldn't tell, we got the reading dragons there. Very cute. And of course the obligatory sword and sorcery sword. All right. Let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, Game of Thrones. If you haven't read it yet, here you go. This is the one with the HBO tie-in on the cover. It has been read. Light crease here on the back. And it's a big boy. No writing in it, though. No torn pages, no tanning. Gonna do it. $3. We're gonna go, let's go 15 seconds. $3, 15 seconds. Game of Thrones. Ginger Snap, good to see you. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I appreciate it very much. Hopefully we got some good stuff here. Maybe we find a little treasure or two. Who knows? All right. Book 2, Guardians of the Flame, The Sword and the Chain by Joel Rosenberg. With a dragon's flame, wizard's spell, and warrior's sword, they fought to free the world. Spine's in nice shape. A little bit of wear, a little corner bump. Salty Fern, do you have any Witcher? Ooh, I do not have any Witcher, Salty. Do you have the whole series for Game of Thrones? Angela, I do not. I do not. I'm always on the look for them, but I do not have them here tonight. First printing April '94 on The Sword and the Chain. Yeah, if I had, my wife's actually been getting into The Witcher. We saw the show on, I'm familiar with the video game. I never read the books. Familiar with the video game. My wife and I watched the Netflix series. Spoiler alert. No spoiler alert. The new series with the recast. It's a little bit I think they could have done this latest season of The Witcher on Netflix in about 3 episodes. But that's just my humble opinion. All right, this one is Xanth number 4, Centaur Isle. Get it? All the Piers Anthony books and the Xanth novels have a little humor in them, and every title is a play on words. So it's not Centaur Isle, it's Centaur Isle. This one's like brand new. Just put a tag. We're running it at $3. It is Xanth number 4, so I don't forget. Little light tanning on the inside covers, but otherwise brand new. And when's the next Game of Thrones book coming out? They were joking about how long it was taking them 5 or 6 years ago. I'm sure it's coming. Brittany, good to see you. A little Piers Anthony for you. Kate Forsyth, The Tower of Ravens, Book 1, Rhiannon's Ride. All right, play the Fleetwood Mac song now. It's got a little crease here on the front cover. It's like a little light crease right there on the spine. Super Turtle, what's up? $7.99. We're gonna run this for $1 because of the crease on the front. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you've been doing well yourself. All right, it's got a heavy crease on that front cover. Let's see if anybody wants to grab that for $1. Super Turtle, you working on anything fun these days? Any new projects coming your way? Ms. Rourke, hello. Hello, Crow. Good to see ya. All right, here's another one. Edited and developed by Byron Priest. Weird Heroes, Volume 8. This is a compilation book. We got Farmer, Moorcock, Reeves, Hickman, Grant, Bova, Russell, and Chaikin in this one. A little bit of loss here on the spine. A little rubbing, it looks like. Camus, The Big Spell, The Savage Shadow, and Flood Tide. Nice. Got some illustrations in here. Illustrated fantasy and sci-fi by some of the best writers and artists in the field. Here you go. Here you go now. Been doing some watercolor with Sharpie markers. Interesting. Do you blend the Sharpie marker into the watercolor? Is the Sharpie like the definitive line and then you kind of watercolor in and around it? $3 start. Weird Heroes Illustrated. Volume 8. Of course, they're all standalone stories. Leah, good to see you. Up next, Earthsea Book 4. Ursula K. Le Guin, the Master. Tahanu. Earthsea Book 4. Just some light use on this one. Wizard of Earthsea, The Farthest Shore, The Tombs of Atuan, Tales of Earthsea, The Other Wind, and Tahanu. This is Book 4. Very good. $3 start. 15 seconds. Up and running. Melissa, hello. Good to see you. So there's about maybe 30 or so books in the store. I really got to get this store back. What am I doing? I'm taking this and talking. That's the book I want up there. This is the book I'm running next. I got to get that store repopulated a little bit here. Here we go. R.A. McAvoy, Damiano. All right, that goes on the Tahanu book. He was called Damiano del Strego, wizard's son, alchemist, heir to dark magics. Yet he was also an innocent, a young scholar and musician befriended by the archangel Raphael, who instructed him in the lute. And then mayhem ensues. Just a little light tanning on the front and back inside covers. Zane, yo! Next time you do a sci-fi book show, if you got any Black Library or Warhammer books, let me know. Been reading a bunch of those. Ah, okay. I'm trying to think. Do I have any? I might have one or two maybe. Let me see here real quick. More comics. Yeah, the next sci-fi show is going to be on the 18th, Zane. Let me make a little note here. I'll see if I could pull any Warhammer if I have it. That might be in my special stash. Warhammer for the next sci-fi show. Yeah, you like those books? Are you into the game and all that? All right, here we go. Terry Brooks, Magic Kingdom for sale. Sold. Terry Brooks, book is brand new. Look at that spine. Not a crease on it. Fairyland, cash on demand. Here in his first non-Shannara novel, Terry Brooks has written a gripping story of mystery, magic, and adventure, sure to delight fantasy readers everywhere. First paperback publication. No doubt I'll make an impact. My oldest son, Zane, is very much into the Warhammer. He does all the... he likes making the figures. Tabletop's is way too expensive. It looks fun. I'd like to try painting, but I'll take some time before I try it out. I've played the video games. Okay, yeah. We've got all the video games here. I played them with the kids growing up and all that stuff. They're fun. And my son played the tabletop game with some friends, and when he was in college. And he is an artist, and he loves painting them. So I've gotten him a bunch of sets over the years, and he'll just spend hours and hours putting them together and doing all the detailed stuff. It's kind of funny because one of his roommates was an American Revolutionary War buff. He was a history major, one of his roommates, right? And so his roommate was into painting and making all the revolutionary miniatures and setting up battlefields and all that kind of stuff. So the two of them would hang out, and one would do Warhammer, and the other one would be doing like the British, the redcoats, and it can get way detailed and yes, very expensive. Here's one: R.S. Belcher, Shotgun Arcana. This is kind of a steampunk fantasy horror cowboy kind of thing. I tried to convince my friend to split a starter box with me so we could try it for cheaper, but he didn't go for it. Uh-huh. He wasn't into it, huh? All right. So this is another. There's the R.S. Belcher Shotgun Arcana. This was the first book in the series, the Six Gun Tarot. It's a fantastical mystery. If you've read Tim Powers, then this is right up your alley. A strange town, lots of points of view, folklore, big bad evil people, a bit of George R.R. Martin with all the different characters and brutal death scenes, but really engrossing, one to read slowly. Nevada, 1869. So yeah, it's kind of like an alternate fantasy cowboy stuff, but there's two books in the series. I'll keep the weight low. Let's do 2 for $5. He likes the lore. We're doing a book club thing with the Warhammer Night Lords trilogy. Nice. We're both broke college students, so no tabletop. I hear you. I hear you. All right, let's keep these guys together over here. It's a nice little set there by Belcher. All right, without this book, there is no Game of Thrones. The Once and Future King, T.H. White. I said it, without this book, there is no Game of Thrones. T.H. White's masterful retelling of the saga of King Arthur is a fantasy classic as legendary as Excalibur and Camelot, and a poignant story of adventure, romance, and magic that has enchanted readers for generations. If you haven't had a chance, Here's a nice clean copy. The Once and Future King for $3. Andrea, welcome. Colby, good to see you. Last few seconds on the Once and Future King. A little Jennifer Robertson, Legacy of the Wolf, Omnibus number 2. So this is actually a collection of books. Chronicles of the Cheshuli. All right. So in this book, I think I have the. Let me check. I think I have the first one also. Um, Omnibus, Book 3 and Book 4. Legacy of the Sword, Book 3. Track of the White Wolf, Book 4. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. Omnibus 2. I don't have the first omnibus. I have the third omnibus. So you get 2 books there and 2 books here. A Pride of Princes and Daughter of the Lion. The 5th and 6th novels in the fantasy epic Chronicles of the Cheshuli. So that's not bad. That's not bad, actually. You get 4 books right there. 2 books, do 2 for 5, not 35. 5, 15 seconds, up and running. Hush, Poetic Lark, good to see you. Oh, Poetic Lark, talk to my friend Z Slicer there. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look for some Warhammer and bring it. Try to bring it to my show, my science fiction show, on the 18th. Yeah, thanks for asking. I appreciate you coming in and asking. I don't have any in this show, but I think I've got them in my sci-fi show. All right, Pip and Flinks meet Midworld. Mid-Flinks, Alan Dean Foster. Where on this one? Where Flinks and his flying mini dragon Pip went, trouble always followed. That law had governed their lives through years of unsought danger and galactic intrigue. Now, an evil rich man was out to kidnap the mini drag for his personal zoo, and Flinks and Pip were on the run again. This time into uncharted space on a random course they hoped would foil their pursuit. All right, it sounds more like sci-fi, but it's got a dragon in it. So, what am I supposed to do? If it's got a dragon in it, it's got to go on the fantasy show. Yeah, thanks very much. It is already Hushed Poet. It is already posted. So if you go into my profile, just bookmark the show on February 18th. It's sitting right there. Mid-Flinks, Alan Dean Foster, $3, 15 seconds, up and running. Big Brother, good to see you. Star, welcome. Thanks for coming in, guys. There's a couple of 30 or so books sitting there in the store, but all these books that I'm showing here are not in the store right now. We're just going through them and running them at mostly $3 starts. If you see anything you want me to pull out of the back, just let me know. The Winged Assassin, Catherine Cook. He wanted revenge, and gods, goddesses, and daemons vied to give it to him. The Winged Assassin. The sleeping goddess dreamed of a perfect lover, a man whose beauty and strength would feed her own. And so she caused Aris to be born, and raised believing he was the son of a goddess's enemy, reared among the people who had crushed her empire, so that one day she might strike back, with Aris at her side. Nice shape. we got on this one? 1987. First printing, Ace Fantasy, June 1987. That was a good year. $3.15. The Winged Assassin. Elric, good to see you. Blah, blah. What's up? No jewelry tonight. It's book night, my friend. All right, here's a cool one. I got 5 on this one. It's a journal, but it's a special journal. Game of Thrones journal. The night is dark and full of terrors. Nice. It's got the red edge print on it all around. And it is Melisandre themed. The Red Witch. And it's just a memo book. Blank journal. But it's a Melisandre journal. Real nice shape. Maybe a little, maybe teeny tiny little scuff there. The night is dark. So we do 5 on that. 15 seconds on the Melisandre journal. It's nice. It's got the faux leather cover. Real nice. There she is in her old age form, in her hot form. Retro Man, good to see you. Then we got another one that's a little fun. It's a little fortune-telling birthday book. Threw it here in the fantasy show. It's got gold gilded pages around the outside. It's got a little ribbon bookmark. And this is just fun for you and your friends. Go pick a birthday. Let's see, what's today? February 3rd? Let's go look up February 3rd. At the beginning of every month, it's kind of got the theme of the month, what the birthstone is, the flower, the colors, the Gemini, the whatchamacallit, the horoscope. February 3rd. All right. Hi, Minsu. Hello. Do you have any Magic the Gathering books? Woo, what is it? Magic the Gathering Day here? Yeah, Warhammer and Magic the Gathering are hot. Yeah. I don't think I have any here in this show tonight. No. Sold plenty before. So I do get them and do sell them here. So definitely give me a follow and come and check out the shows because you never know when they're going to pop up. But yeah, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for the question. I appreciate it. All right, let's go. February 3rd. Today's birthday. If today's your birthday, here is your fortune. You should be married early in life to someone born in January, June, or October. You are kind, generous, and good-natured. You have excellent self-control and keep your own counsel. You are fond of outdoors and love pets and animals. There you go. Any horror books tonight? Actually, no. But the horror show is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern, the horror show. It's already up there and posted. Feel free to throw down a bookmark, or you can go in right now, check out the horror books, and throw down any prebids if you want. How was that for a commercial, blah, blah? Not bad, right? It's just sitting there waiting for you. You got it. Thank you. All right, this is one of my wife's extra books. As in, she bought it twice. The Spawn of Lilith. Brand new. Never read. because my wife bought it twice. She's into the whole genre of kick-ass female protagonists. All right. This one is about, well, I'll just read the little blurb. Out of the spotlight, in the darker corners of the studio backlots, Hollywood hides a remarkable secret. Actor or actress, set designer, electrician, best boy, grip in La La Land. It pays not to be human. Vampires, succubi, trolls, elementals, goblins. Studios hire anyone and anything that can take direction, be discreet, and not eat the extras. The less you know about your agent, the better. That's kind of funny. This is, I don't know if we got any superhero fans out there who might have watched the new Marvel show, Wonder Man. Wonder Man is the exact opposite of this. It's if you're a superhero, if you have superpowers, you're not allowed to be an actor in Hollywood because, well, there's a reason why. I won't spoil it. But let me run this brand new Spawn of Lilith for $3. Yeah, the new Wonder Man show has a theme in it that if you have superpowers, you are not allowed to be in a Hollywood movie, and there's a definitive reason why, and it's part of one of the subplots of the show. So I won't spoil it, but it is interesting. Let me run that one again. $3, 15 seconds. Spawn of Lilith, brand new book. All right, who's next? Who's next? Patricia Briggs, Wild Sign, an Alpha and Omega novel. Briggs spins tales of werewolves, coyote shifters, and magic, and my does she do it well. This is another brand new book. Brand new. Mated werewolves, Charles and Anna, must discover what could make an entire community disappear before it's too late. In this thrilling entry in the #1 New York Times best-selling Alpha and Omega series. Wild Signs. Little werewolf action for you. Got a little mystical thing with the magic side, but yeah, that could be in the horror show. It could be in this show. Last few seconds. All right, there's Wild Sign. Up next, Kerry Arthur, Spook Squad #2, Generation 18. Another brand new book. A serial killer strikes every 12 hours. A vampire takes lives at random. At first glance, these tragic incidents seem unrelated, but Special Investigations Unit agent Sam Ryan and Gabriel Stern trace them both back to a military base known as Hopeworth. Is the murder spree part of a cover up, and are the vampire killings less by chance and more methodical? Hmm. Hmm. Kerry Arthur, Generation 18. Up and running. All right, I got a couple of hardcovers coming. I'm going to keep the weights low on the hardcovers. Okay, going to keep the weight low on the hardcovers. It's a 1997 first edition hardcover, Chaos Mode. This is book 3 of the Mode series. Book 3. Some light jacket wear. Got your $24.95 price. Boards are in real nice shape. All right. First, 1993. Did I say 97? 1993. 1993 first. Pierce Anthony, Chaos Mode. I got 10 on it. I'm going to keep the weight low. I'll start it up at 8. Had it for a little while. Last few seconds. All right. Thanks for looking at that one. See how high I can get this without knocking it over. Another Pierce Anthony hardcover. First edition. Jan Il Wind. Xanth. Xanth number 20. I love the insides on this one too. $24 original. Check this out. There's Xanth. I don't know. Looks a little like Florida to me. Yeah, the insides on this one are real cool. The Xanth series. Excellent condition. First edition, October 1996. Okay, let's come down here just a tad. There we go. All right, let's do it. I got 10 on this one. Gonna run it at 8. Keeping the shipping weight low. Tree Hugger, good to see you. Punky, hello, hello. Thanks for coming in, everybody. I'm Chris. It's the Cool and Common Stream. We're working our way through some fantasy books tonight. The books you see here in front of you are not in the store, so if you want me to pull out any of these, just let me know. If you want me to grab anything that's in the auction section of the store, just let me know. I got them sitting right here. Oh, we do have a couple of pre-bids. Got a couple pre-bids in there. Let me go grab those. Hold on one second. Marion Zimmer Bradley, The Forest House, and Domains of Darkover. Right. Marion Zimmer Bradley. Okay, there's The Forest House and Domains of Darkover. All right, let's run these. Excellent. All right, here we go. This is the prequel to Marion Zimmer Bradley's blockbuster book, The Mists of Avalon, The Forest House. Prequel to The Mists of Avalon. Real nice copy. A little bit of creasing here on the spine. It looks almost like a... It's not even really creasing. It almost looks like a bad binding job. But it still looks fine sitting there. But you do see a little wave in there. All right. Forest House. Let's run that one. $3, 15 seconds. Night Towel. Thank you for your bid. Much appreciated. I'm saying night towel. Night owl. Thank you for that. Mad's mom, good to see you. All right, here's the next one that we got a pre-bid on. Another Marion Zimmer Bradley, Domains of Darkover. Got an MZB fan in the house. Appreciate you. This is a DAW. It's brand new, never been read. Nice one. Good choice. Good choice. All right, let's run this one. $3 start. 15 seconds. Up and running. Jill, good to see you again. How you doing? Night Owl takes it. Congratulations, Night Owl. Excellent, excellent. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. So yeah, if you see anything you like in that store, just throw down a pre-bid if you're jumping around show to show. Always a great way to pick up some stuff. Put that back there. Where were we? We're on some more hardcovers. Let's go back to some of the soft covers. Let's go back to some of the paperbacks here. All right. The Gnome Wrench in the Peopleworks. This is an alternative history. The biggest heroes of World War II may also be the smallest. The Mini Dragons. Sort of alternative fantasy history. From the author of The Gnome Wrench in the Dwarf Works, it's The Gnome Wrench in the Peopleworks. Summer 1945. The war in Europe is winding down, but thanks to the alliance with the gnome-owned, dwarf-run New Amsterdam Metalworks, Plimstub Industrial Furnaces still has all the business it can handle. I think you get the point. Fantasy World, World War II, all mixed together. Year 2000, first print. Gnome Wrench in the Peopleworks. Let's pin this and run it for $3, 15 seconds. Miss Charlotte, good to see you. Many, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. All right, let's get these big boys over there. Take some of these down over here. Start stacking up on top of here. Back over there. All right, here we go. A little fantasy with a little horror twist. From the national best-selling authors of Damnfear, Thief of Lives. Majir the Damnfear thinks that her nights of hunting vampires are over. After settling down in her newly adopted village of Mishka, now vampire-free thanks to her and her half-elf partner Liesel, she looks forward to quiet days tending to her tavern. But you know something's wrong. Take Anita Blake Vampire Hunter and drop her into a standard fantasy world, and you might end up with something like this exciting first novel. A mix of Lord of the Rings and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Well, there you go. That's all you need to know about that. Thief of Lives. Barb and J.C. Hendy. Up and running. $3, 15 seconds. Gulf Coast, welcome. All right, gonna put this guy over here. Up next, What's up? What's up? James P. Blaylock, The Stone Giant. Return to the world of the Elfin Ship and the Disappearing Dwarf. The Stone Giant by Blaylock. Little tiny crease on the corner. Theophile Escargot, cast out of Twombly Town for the crime of stealing his own pie, bade a midnight farewell to his unfeeling neighbors and set out on a journey to fabled Alumnia, where he would clash with the master of an elfin airship and a conniving marble-stealing dwarf, where he would battle to save Lita, a beautiful maid possessed by a malevolent witch. All right, there you go. Nice. Good one. Fun. James P. Blaylock, The Stone Giant. $3.15. Lil B, what's up? Thanks for coming on in. I'm Chris. It's the Cool and Common Stream. We're running a little fantasy book show tonight. All fantasy books. Big Brother's in on that one. Thank you, thank you. Excellent. First purchase here on the Cool and Common Stream. This is what we do.
That was easy.
That was easy. Thank you very much, Big Bro. Hopefully the first of many. Appreciate that. Thanks for stopping in tonight. Now, you did just unlock a bronze reward, so you know the deal. On that top right corner up there, you got the rewards. I don't make you spend $200 and watch for 6 days to give you a coupon. As soon as you buy something, you get a coupon. So feel free to use it. All right, up next, Anna McCaffrey, Crystal Singer. Crystal Singer. All right, here you go. Crystal Singer. The Lure of Crystal. Her name was Kilashandra Ree. After 10 grueling years of musical training, she was young, beautiful, and still without prospects. Then she heard the mysterious Heptite Guild on the planet Balabron, where the fabled black crystals, well, mine's quartz, sorry about that. For those qualified, the guild was said to provide career, security, and the chance for wealth beyond imagining. The problem was few people who landed on Brelin ever left. All right, there's a little crystal. It's not for sale. Crystal Singer. How about that? Hard to find sellers that sell vintage fantasy. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's my jam. I like finding those. I like finding those books. You found one here. Be sure to give me a follow and bookmark future shows. Every week I do a different book show. Every Wednesday night, typically, I'll do a book show, Big Bro, and every week it's a different theme. So if you go into my profile, you'll see all the shows listed out. Yeah, bookmark some. You can bookmark my next fantasy show if you want right now. It's there. Here's another one. Riddle of the Seven Realms. When a demon, a lady wizard, and a con man join forces, it leads to a wild, wacky quest, one mad world to another. Got a little light crease on the back there. Demon Quest, first time in print. Nice shape. Just that light crease on the spine. I think we're looking at another one. I'm going to say 89. Ooh, 1988. I was close. Third printing, December 1988. First was June. So, yeah, not bad. Went through 3 printings in a few months. Riddle of the Seven Realms, $3.15. Let's go. Next. All right, we got a little Pierce Anthony. I've got one of the Mode series up there. That was one of the hardcovers. Yeah. Got a couple of hardcovers of the Mode series. But if you're going to start it, first paperback edition, Pierce Anthony Virtual Mode, book 1 of the Mode series. It's got some wear on it. It's been loved, pre-read. Imagine a world where the clouds are made of crystals that constantly change their beautiful colors, where joy is sacred, where conjurers fly people from village to village. Imagine too that this world and more exist simultaneously and that it is possible to travel between them. Book 1, there's Pierce. All right, first printing, 1991. Virtual Mode, book 1 of the Mode series, $3, 15 seconds. Okay, got a little more Pierce here. This is one of the Xanth books. Yet, yeah, right, okay. Geis of the Gargoyle. Geis of the Gargoyle. All right, spine's in nice shape. Little nick on the corner there. Since Xanth began, the gargoyles of that magical place have been under a magical compulsion to protect the purity of the Swan Knee River. Get it? Swan Knee River. The puns abound, which flows into Xanth from dreary Mundania. But recently, the pollution from the outside world has grown ever greater, and young Gary Gar, the latest in a long line of gargoyle guardians, Gary Gar, the gargoyle guardian, is finding it ever more difficult to fulfill his responsibilities. I just got into Xanth. Are they good stories? Yeah, yeah. Nice. Well, there you go. Gets of the Gargoyle. $3, 15 seconds. Yeah, there's a ton of Xanth books, right? Prolific. Mr. Anthony is prolific. There's another one. Book 6 of the Incarnations of Immortality. Pierce Anthony's For Love of Evil. Again, a little bit of wear, a little corner bump here, some creasing on the spine. The Man Who Would Be Satan. Whoa, there you go. Perry was a gifted musician and an apprentice in the arts of white magic, but his life of sweet promise went disastrously awry following the sudden violent death of his beloved Jolie. Oh. Darth Vader, a young Padawan with a gift for the light side, has the love of his wife, Padme, die, and then he turns to the dark side and becomes Darth Vader. You don't think George Lucas read this book, do you? $3, 15 seconds. Pierce Anthony, For Love of Evil. I don't know. Sounds a little bit like. Let's see. What year was this? Let's see. What year was this? 88. Okay. Second printing, 88. Sounding a little bit like the Darth Vader All right. Up next, Book 5, Guardians of the Flame, Joel Rosenberg. I got another one of these. We did one of these early. Where's the Joel Rosenberg? Where's the Rosenberg? I'll find it. It's in there somewhere. The Warrior Lives. Brand new book. Light tanning on that back cover. The front, let me see where that other one is. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. There it is, the sword and the chain. Of course, it's always on the bottom, right? All right, this is going to be a long way to go. Stick with me. Stick with me. There's another Pierce Anthony, Centaur Isle. Here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yes. Book 2, Guardians of the Flame. Book 5, Guardians of the Flame. 2 and 5. Let's do those two together. 2 and 5. All right, how about 2 for 5? $3 a book would be 6. Let's do 2 for 5. Both of them. You collectibles, good to see you. All right, we'll put the 2 Rosenbergs over here. 2, book 5. Patricia Briggs, Raven's Shadow. Light, very light crease on that back. Very light. Barely feel it. Barely feel it. For many years, the city of Colossae was a haven of magical study. As generations of wizards pushed the limits of their abilities, an evil entity was unleashed that could only be contained by the sacrifice of their city. From the ashes of Colossae, the travelers emerged, roaming the world to ensure that the stalker would remain imprisoned forever. Clean white. Clean white insides. Real nice. 8th print from 2004. Patricia Briggs, Raven's Shadow. $3, 15 seconds. Jarhead, good to see you. Big Brother's in on that one. Thank you. Last few seconds. All right. Excellent. Thank you for that. Glad you like that one. Irene Radford, The Dragon Circle. Star Gods Book 2. Who would emerge the victor when the Terran Imperial Military Police tracked the O'Hara brothers to their magical hideaway? There you go. Doll Fantasy, light crease on that spine again. Little off square. The imps are coming. Not the redcoats. The imps. Little light tanning on the back cover. Nice white pages. Light tanning on that front. First printing August 2004. I think 2004 is just yesterday, but it's really 22 years ago. Hard to believe. $3, 15 seconds. The Dragon Circle. Okay. Let's see if we can. Yeah, let's keep it up with the paperbacks. If anybody is interested in some of the bigger hardcovers, I got a bunch of them, but right now I'm just going to stick with the paperbacks for a little bit. But the hardcovers are a lot of Pierce Anthony. A couple. I got a Mist book, which is kind of interesting. All right, let's carry on. Barbara Hambly, Knight of the Demon Queen, sequel to Dragon's Bane and Dragon's Shadow. So this one is also brand spanking new. Look at that spine. Not a crease on it. Little corner bump, little nick there, it looks like. Little nick here. That's a shame. It's not a loss of a corner, but it looks like the outside corner's still there. Just lost that little edge. Nice white, bright all the way through. Nice one. Knight of the Demon Queen. In the sequel to her critically acclaimed Dragon Shadow, best-selling author Barbara Hambly works her most compelling magic, crafting a masterpiece of dark fantasy, a courageous and compassionate journey through the hell of the human heart and beyond. All right. Knight of the Demon Queen, $3, 15 seconds. Christina, good to see you. Okay, put that one up there. This one, I think we had we had some Feist in here. Yeah, we did have some Raymond Feist. All right, well, here's another one. The sequel to Magician Apprentice and Magician Master, Silverthorn, Volume 3 of the Rift War Saga. Light wear on the spine, still nice and tight. A poisoned bolt has struck down the Princess Anita on the day of her wedding to Prince Arutha of Krondor. To save his beloved, Arutha sets out in search of the mystic herb called Silverthorn that only grows in the dark and forbidding lands of the Spellweavers. There you go. Nice, just off-white pages. What's that? 10th printing. 9 printings through November 89. Wow. Nice. Originally 1985, 1986 copy. Woo! Silverthorn. How long is the Rift War saga? Good question. Let's find out. Uh, all right. So there's the Rift War saga and the Rift War cycle. The Rift War saga was a core trilogy of books. The first book in the U.S., the first book was Magician, was split into 2 volumes, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So there's Magician Volume 1, Apprentice, and Magician Volume 2, which was Master. And then Book 3 is Silverthorn. And then the 4th book, or the 3rd book, technically, I guess, is A Darkness of Sethanon. Then the Rift War cycle, which includes all the spin offs, is 30 books. but the original the original books are 4 books. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, this one's listed as what? Book 3. This is volume 3. So 1 and 2 was the first book, right? So it's volume 3, but I guess it's the second book, right? Silverthorn. A Darkness of Sarathon is the last, the 4th in the original. Yeah, and then it goes into 30 books. Yeah, I mean, that's like Pierce Anthony and the Xanth novels. They get out there. They get out. You got to be dedicated if you're going to read that. Pierce Anthony, Serpent's Silver. First mass market publication of the sequel to the best selling Dragon's Gold. Love the cover. It's embossed. Check that out. It's embossed. And you got the silver. That's great. The spine is in great shape. And this was the sequel to Dragon's Gold. Let me see what I have here. Hold on a second. I have. All right. So this is book 2. Here is book 3, Chimera's Copper. So Dragon's Gold is book 1. Don't have that. I got book 2, Serpent Silver, and book 3, Chimera's Copper. This one's got a little more wear on it. 1990, first mass market paperback. Let's do the 2 of those together. Books 2 and 3 in the series. First one's like new. Second one's got some wear, so we've been doing 2 for 5. Second one's got some wear on it. Let's do 2 for 4. $2 a book. Find yourself, take the money you save, and go find the first book. Amber, welcome. Chris, good to see you. J Dolls, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I do try very much to put sets together. I do that in my comic book show also. If I can find sets of things, um, try to keep them together and sell them together as a group. I mean, that's one of the benefits, right? You want to try to get everything together all at once here. Let's see, we've gone up in the stack a little bit. Let's look up a little bit. Actually, I have a few copies of this one, if anybody's interested. Pierce Anthony, Robert Margroff, Works Opal. 4th book in the adventures of Kelvin of Rudd, as opposed to Celsius or Fahrenheit. Oh, fantasy humor. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The prophecy of Movar is running its course in the many frames of reality inhabited by Kelvin Knight Hackleberry and his family. The 2 kingdoms joined to form Kelvinia and have now been united with 3 others to make a great confederation under the rule of the young twin kings, Kildum and Kildee. And Kelvin has earned some time to rest with his family. Oh, but he won't be resting for long, because that's when stuff goes sideways. Works Opal. $3 start, 15 seconds. Okay, thanks for looking at that. Up next. Oh, there it is. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Volume 4 in the Rift War Saga. Oh. A Darkness at Sethanon. Volume 4. Oh, wait a minute. We might want to pull those other ones. An evil wind blows through Midkemia. Dark legions have risen up to crush the kingdom of the Isles and enslave it to dire magics. The final battle between order and chaos is about to begin in the ruins of the city called Sethanon. The resounding finale to Raymond Feist's epic fantasy, The Riftwar Saga. There you go. Let's do that and this. So we got book 3 and book 4. Let's do that 2 for 5. Now don't forget that first book is split up into 2 volumes. So that's, they call it a trilogy, but in the US it was printed as 4 books. 2 for 5. All right, hold on to that. I'll have to keep my eyes open for those first 2 books now. Raymond Feist. Actually, I got a bookstore I can go look for that in. I know exactly where to go. Ooh, look at this! A Forgotten Realms book. Wizards of the Coast. Hello. Hello, beautiful. The Last Mythal, Book 1, Forsaken House. Brand new. Brand spanking new. I'm not even going to open it up all the way because that's how clean it is. First print. Woo, Wizards of the Coast. Yes, indeed. How about that? 2004. Last Mythal, Book 2. That's the next one. This is Book 1. Forgotten Realms. Nice. All right. Wow. Wizards of the Coast, Forgotten Realms. Brand new. Let's do 5 on that one. Yeah, that's a real nice book. I know there have been multiple requests tonight for Warhammer and what was the other series? I forget. But one time I walked into a store, local store, and it was a what the heck? It's the word I'm looking for. What the heck's the name of the store again? I'm blanking out. It's one of those stores. It's like it's a thrift store, but they deal almost exclusively in like home remodeling and home repair stuff, right? But they got this one little section in the corner where they have books and CDs and music and stuff. So I go there, and I'm looking around, and I mean, literally, they've got like, you can get sinks and light fixtures and shingles and aluminum siding. But in the back corner, they got books. So I go to the back, and they had 2 bookshelves full of Warhammer books. And I just took all of them. And I sold all of them here. So, all right. Book 1, The Oracle Prophecies. The Oracle Betrayed by Catherine Fisher. Again, real nice looking book. Spine is clean. Myrni and Seth hold the future in their hands. The High Priestess interprets the wishes of the god as conveyed through the Oracle. Myrni serves as High Priestess, but when the god speaks to Myrni, she realizes that the High Priestess does not hear him. She is manipulating the choosing of a new god on earth for her own gain. I hate when that happens. Nobody's going to like that. There you go. Book 1, Oracle Prophecies, brand new. Catherine Fisher, $3, 15 seconds. Up and running. Last few seconds. All right. Up next, Michelle Sagara, Chains of Darkness, Chains of Light. Book 4 of The Sundered. Book 4 of The Sundered. Spine is in great shape. Little corner bump in there. Eren had renewed the eternal fight of light against dark and against the mighty lord of the Dark Empire, Stephanos, once her lover. Hate those lovers' disputes. But as war raged to its ultimate conclusion, it became clear that Eren and Stephanos were still bound by chains of darkness and chains of light. First time in print. Sounds like somebody got divorced and wrote a book about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe am I reading too much into that? 1994, first print. $3, 15 seconds. Up and running. All right, we'll go through a few more here. Let's see what we got. Oh, I like this one. I remember this one. It's the conclusion of a fantasy trilogy, McAvoy's Raphael. Weakened by his contact with mortals, the archangel Raphael falls prey to his brother Lucifer, who strips him of his angelic powers. Sold into the Moorish slave markets, confused and humbled by his sudden humanity, Raphael finds his only solace in the friendship of the dark-skinned Berber woman Jora, and the spiritual guardianship of his former people, Damiano del Strego. There you go. Some light tanning on the back and in the front. 1984, September. First print. There's a nice little vintage one for you. Raphael, 1984, $3, 15 seconds. Last welcome. Steffi, good to see you. Do 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 do. All right. Let's go with The Fifth Sorceress, Volume 1. If you're going to get into a series, Volume 1 is a good place to start. Volume 1 of the Chronicles of Blood and Stone. Looking brand new on that spine. A little corner bump crease here. Robert Newcomb springs into fame and literary maturity in a single bound. 3 centuries ago, the unspeakable ravages of a devastating war nearly tore apart the kingdom of Eutracia. Those who masterminded the bloodshed, a coven of powerful, conquest-hungry sorceresses. Damn those sorceresses. They're always conniving and conquest-hungry. They were sentenced to exile, with return all but impossible. Now, a land of peace and plenty, protected and guided by a council of immortal wizards, Eutracia is about to crown a new king. But as the coronation approaches, an ancient evil, nurtured over years of darkness, will return with a vengeance. A little bad guy revenge book. I'm liking that. The Fifth Sorceress. So obviously they banished 4 of them, but There's a fifth one. Volume 1, $3, 15 seconds. All right. Excellent. Thanks for looking at that one. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. I think it's been a little bit of an hour and a half here. I think we're going to turn it over to my friend at Impossible Knots. Let's do a little raid action. He's got some great fantasy, sci-fi, horror. Let's go check him out. All right, big bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thanks to everybody who stopped in. Let's go check it out. Hopefully, I'll see everybody tomorrow at the next book show. See you tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern.